Fusion reaction in T minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfundable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Price go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just worked.
Multiple income streams and real yield. Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfundable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. My name is AJ. I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes a little bit later. We had a really busy day today, but we'll talk all about that in today's episode. Hopefully, all of you can hear me as well. We've been moving through some audio issues, so please give me a heads up in the chat. And before we get started, I'd like to introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. As AJ said, it's been such a busy and productive day, and that gets us all fired up every time. So feeling good. Hope everyone else is feeling good today.
Yeah, absolutely. We again, we've been on the phone for like 4 hours today, so it feels like we're just moving right into the next step, doing the AMA together again. But yeah, it was a super productive day, and we'll get into all that right now. But before we start, just again, somebody in. Okay, perfect. We're good. The live chat confirmed that the audio is good. Again, you may have to bump the volume on your side, but we won't blow your eardrums out. And I'm working on getting a new microphone as well. So, all right, awesome. So again, to start things off, we've been seeing a great little uptick in the market. Now, again, this may not be the end of the volatility. You know, we could very well see at least one more dip, a substantial dip over the next month or two. But like we've been saying all along, come September, October, into next year, that is when the real bull run will really start. So, not financial advice, but might be some of the last opportunities to DCA. I'm very confident that this might be the last time we ever see a $3,000 Ethereum ever. So, that is again super bullish. for what the future holds. And yeah, we're all poised extremely well to capitalize. So not only with EMP Fusion, but all of our other treasury investments. I mean, we have packed our bags over the last year, or more with the horrendous bear market, to really be able to capitalize in this bull. So that's really exciting. Things are looking super promising. Yield has been great. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next segment. And then on top of that as well, we blew everybody out of the water with our Moonbagz. So I'm happy to say we are the largest raiser for Moonbagz as of today. So for those that didn't know, we did an AMA a while back about Moonbagz. It's essentially an ETF of some of the most promising tokens being picked for the next bull run. And I was honored to be asked to be one of the celebrity guests to pick a total of 12 tokens, and we raised. I haven't done the math, but I know that we're the full. We basically did more than triple what the most closest Moonbagz picker did. So why this is bullish is because number one, it's kind of an easy button uh, to getting exposure to not only coins within our ecosystem, but also the overall market. And number two, some of those tokens, even though I'm not allowed to really say, some of those tokens are our ecosystem tokens. So this will also indirectly benefit our protocols. And then last but not least, we do get a 15% performance fee, and I get a small commission from that, from Moonbagz. And all of that, again, we're not classifying it as a revenue stream because it's not ongoing, but all of that will also go to feed Fusion rewards as well. So, Elliot, anything you want to add to that before we get started? I know we sold like something like 600 Moonbagz NFTs, so pretty amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Yes, we were having a conversation today about how it's not always about the size of your following or the size of your community. Some communities are just so powerful and so connected, and ours is just a perfect example of that. Wherever we go in full force, and when we really believe in something, you know that we believe in it because we leave an impression everywhere we go. And if we put a sale on, if we show up to an AMA, if we're involved in something, you know it. um, we were talking about our YouTube channel today, just to segue a little bit.
For sure.
A perfect example about that. We are quickly approaching the 3,000 mark on our followers, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the last month, we have had 214 was it minutes? 200,
Yeah,
no, was it minutes? 214,000 minutes, yeah, of listening time in a month. Isn't that not insane? Um,
totally.
for a 3,000 subscriber channel, like I'm pretty sure there's probably channels with 10,000 or 50,000 subscribers that don't have that much listening time in a month. So the Moonbagz, the YouTube channel, like the amount of messages in a day even that we have in our chats, I think they're all perfect examples of just how powerful and strong and connected our community is. And so yeah, amazing job with the Moonbagz. And yeah, we were by far one of the largest contributors, so way to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and I could not agree more, LA. I mean, that is why EMP, one of the many reasons. I know we say we're the best community in DeFi, but we really are. And this is a shining example of that. I mean, anything that we get behind and really show up as a community, we can have some amazing impact. And this Moonbagz is just yet another example. And that's also part of today's topic of other opportunities, which we'll get into in a minute. I mean, obviously, Fusion is the number one priority at the moment. If you're brand new to the ecosystem, I would always suggest to get involved in Fusion first, and then you can start dabbling in our sister protocols. Again, SparkSwap, Swap, the eventual multi-chain DEX. And then it's about just, using those gains to either funnel back into your core positions in Fusion or GDEX in the DEX finance ecosystem, or have a bag of dry powder to participate in these opportunities that we bring. Now we've gotten a lot more selective. Again, through our track record and history, obviously, we try to protect our community as best as we can, and we're getting even more and more, strict on what sort of projects we bring to the community. But, moving forward, if it's not our own project, which we'll talk about in a minute with Honorverse Madness, it has to be a project that we, again, have fully vetted ourselves, and that whatever other team has their own independent track record. And so, again, Monstro's Universe has been nothing but delivering for over a year now, as well, and all of their tokens and ecosystem has been very safe. So it's exciting. I think we're going to see those Moonbagz do really well. So unfortunately, the sale ended today. So if you didn't get them, you missed out. But I'll be allowed to share my picks sometime in September. So if you did miss out and maybe you just want to know, what I think will do well in the bull run, you'll be able to find that out when we were able to announce. But all right, awesome. Elliot, yeah,
Amazing.
go ahead. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, anything else
Um,
before we end the fusion? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I have one more thing I want to say that just occurred to me. Um, Last month, well, within the last month, you did 28 additional AMAs that were not on our channel.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, that doesn't even include the 260 or 214,000 minutes. Holy cow, you're right. That didn't occur to me either. Yeah.
Imagine how many minutes you actually had listened to.
Wow. Well, I
That's
think people may be
insane.
tired of hearing my voice at this point, huh? Yeah.
I don't think so, because I'm going on 3 years and I'm not sick of it yet.
All
So,
right, well, that's a good sign for sure. Oh man, yeah. Well, that's super bullish. Yeah. And again, not to give too much alpha, but we're working on some other really cool things in the background that, again, like LA said, we hopefully can leverage our content to an even larger audience. I mean, again, those numbers are, admittedly pretty impressive for the amount of subscribers we have. So, being able to grow the YouTube channel, not only is that amazing to get the word out about our protocols, but remember the YouTube channel is also a revenue stream for Fusion. So come the mega bull run, if we can get a 10,000 plus subscriber YouTube channel, that opens up even more opportunities for us as well. So yeah, the future is super bright with that. And thanks to all of you for putting in the listening time of all those minutes and hours. So, it's a great way to support us without any additional financial commitment, for sure. So, all right, awesome. And oh, LA, maybe this is a good segue too. In this part, just talk a little bit about some of our content creators. We've seen a lot of amazing content, and it's
yeah.
also important that not only do you support our YouTube channel, but please support those channels as well, right?
Yes. We have some people that have been supporting us like all throughout our journey, with all of our projects, but especially with Fusion. There have been some people that have been going buck wild, like really, really supporting us. Um, you know, Crypto Pride, Crypto Kings, like so many others. Um, and it has never been more important to really support these people because, they're doing it because they're investors in the protocol and they want to support EMP, and they believe in this project and this community. And so we need to support the people that are supporting us. And it's never been better for you to support these people because it directly impacts your bag, you know? So
Totally.
these people are working hard to make sure that all of us are winning, and the least that we can do is, you know, give them a like and a comment on their videos. If you, even if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, it'd be great if you could, even if it's on 1.5 speed. But if you don't, just at least, you know, drop an emoji in the comments and give them a like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. And again, that's a perfect segue. Again, we're throwing it back and forth today perfectly. To like and subscribe to our own channel. So again, please, before we move forward and get into some other updates, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our own channel. And yeah, like LA was saying, I mean, we need to support those that support us. And you know, those two individuals that LA mentioned specifically, Crypto Pride and Crypto Kings, I mean, they're almost putting out daily content, which again is worth its weight in gold. And, you know, in full disclosure, that is not sponsored content. That is these people that are tracking their journey, you know, through the ecosystem, and just trying to get more people involved. And, you know, those are the kind of influencers, and again, I use that word loosely, but those are the influencers that you should be following. Those that don't have a hidden agenda and just want to be able to promote content of real developers that are, you know, developing things that aren't going to rug, you know, that have a track record that people, you know, have been involved in, and those again are the ones that, in my opinion, carry a lot more weight for sure. So, all right, awesome. So we have again, we're trying to keep today a little short and sweet actually, with some quick updates, but we have a lot to go over still. Anything again, LA, before we move into our notes?
No, I was just reading Mail's comment about how we should have cats on the screen while we're doing our AMAs.
I love it. Yeah, yeah, no matter
I
what it
would
is,
vote
to
dogs,
keep
but
engagement. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe more so puppies than cats, but also all right. Well, so the first update is Fusion. We had a really bullish week with Fusion actually. Again, we on our call on Monday, you know, we said we had hit a little bit of a lull in, you know, sacrificing, but man, did we recover from that. So we have now officially crossed over 24 million EMP, liquid EMP that's been sacrificed into Fusion. Again, that doesn't include all the other things. It's an amazing milestone because it doesn't include the up EMP, the bonds, the EMP ETH LP, you know, and all that can be viewed on chain as well for those that want to do the math. But the fact that we're over 24 million now, and I mean, even from Monday, I think almost 200,000 additional EMP has been sacrificed. So that's a great, I mean, again, we've been doing at least about 50K a day, which again, that is an amazing speed at which EMP is being removed from circulation. And now, you know, that number is over 70%. So the eventual supply shock and price squeeze on EMP is going to happen. It's not if, it's not, you know, we hope. It is absolutely 100% going to happen. You know, we don't know the timeline on that, but at this rate, it could be a lot sooner than even we anticipate. And, you know, once that happens, and again, we move through the swing trading and the volatility of getting back to peg, there will be no more EMP to sell. And at which point, we're able to really transition our focus onto incredible APR. So the plan is coming together flawlessly, and you know, again, it's not my opinion. It's based on the math that we're seeing and the on-chain data that is all verifiable. So again, that's super bullish. And even if we didn't see anybody else sacrificing, or for whatever reason there was zero buying and selling of EMP, the Treasury has been earning incredibly well. So again, we do a lot of concentrated liquidity farming. We utilize our own vaults. with Dex Finance, and when the market goes down, we DCA into those vault positions. So now that the vault or that the market is coming back, those vault positions are killing it. And we use our own protocols to yield, which is even more bullish. So the treasury yield has been amazing, and that again is what will sustainably provide rewards along with all of our other revenue streams, and eventually buy EMP and burn it off the market. So really, really exciting stuff. And then we spent hours today going through suggestions. Ella, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, AJ and I were on the phone for 4 hours today. We had a very, very long, amazing phone call to plan out a ton of stuff. But one of the things we did on the call is we went through every single suggestion for Fusion. Some of them we had already been through, but we wanted to make sure to go over every single one, and just really talk back and forth about each of them to decide which ones we were going to put on the development schedule. And just to give you guys total transparency, we kind of divide our entire development schedule into high, medium, and low priority. And then some we also added to future ideas list that aren't possible to implement right now just with the code the way that it is, but we like the ideas for future implementation. So a lot of the ideas on the list we slotted into our development schedule. And when I say schedule, I don't really mean timeline, I mean priority wise. Because don't start asking us when and for dates
For
because we
sure.
don't have them. But yeah, we loved so many of the ideas, and a lot of them got added to the list. So we have some really, really bright minds in our community, and we said to ourselves, you know, even though we thoroughly tested, even though we had beta testers thoroughly test, and we all had many eyes looking over things, the community will always notice things and think of ideas that we don't. And so it's just so great to have all of you guys making suggestions, thinking of ideas, and being willing to put your ideas out there, and we love it. We really do. It took probably 2 hours to go through all of them, but AJ, when we were done, he's like, "Is that it? Okay, what's next? Let's go."
Yeah. For sure, we were on a roll, LA. It was awesome. I mean, again, a lot of the suggestions were stuff that we had already been kind of brainstorming behind the scenes. Some of the suggestions were out of left field and amazing. So again, shout out to all of you that do, think outside the box and will implement those. And some were either things that we already implemented and people didn't realize, or maybe it's a little bit different than what they had suggested, but still is the overall, process. And then some were just a little too crazy, like LA said, that may be something we add down the road when we have, additional development time outside of what we're already planning to do, and requires a lot more coding and, revisions. So, but overall, super, super bullish, and we are hopefully going to be adding a lot more, based on everything, those suggestions of what we have already done. I know a lot of you have been asking for a BTC battery, some other battery options, and even just before this call, LA, an update for you. You didn't even hear this yet. The cultivator migration should be ready by tomorrow. I know we said it was going to be 24 hours. We ran into some issues with the snapshot and just wanted to make sure that everything was good, and not to unfairly give positions to people that didn't deserve them. So we went over the snapshot one more time, and now we have an amazing rollout for that. So again, there's a lot of development work being done, even though sometimes people don't see it happen on the front end. Again, I can assure you, there's not a day go by that the developers aren't killing it, both within all of our ecosystems. Again, Cedo, Spark, Fusion, GDEX, Vaults, and the BSC DEX, which will be the initial rollout for the multi-chain DEX that we ended up putting together. So lots and lots of work behind the scenes, and things are getting done. So exciting. All right, awesome. All right, LA, anything else in regards to Fusion before we move on to the Honor versus Madness, the new game?
Yeah, I think we can just address Mail's question since he's asking about nodes. I know you have kind of on our previous AMAs gone over certain ideas and plans with nodes, but just so we're kind of clear on this moving forwards, I know a lot of what we have planned or the ideas we have planned for nodes. Can you kind of give a timeline? Like a lot of that probably would be implemented post peg recovery. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, 100% LA. So that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, I know in a lot of these AMAs we've discussed some potential, quote unquote resolutions to some of the legacy contracts. Nodes is specifically a bit different because it's actual EMP that is in that contract with minor, dilution like we see or and inflation like we see in detonator and reactor and those. But yeah, I mean, no matter what we do, it will most likely only happen after peg recovery. So there's a few reasons for that. The most glaring reason is that again we just don't want to dilute the microgrid or central grid too much by allowing people to you know essentially sacrifice positions and again there's also a lot of math behind it because uh, what you may have deposited in nodes and what you may have already taken out of nodes, that math has to be settled per wallet address, which again is a big process. So that is another part of it. We're coming up with some other ideas as well that would accomplish the same, you know, end goal of people being able to put their positions into Fusion, but doesn't require like a full-on migration or crediting, so to speak, either. So a little bit more of a gamified resolution. So we're still working through all this, and yeah, just to set expectations, I would not be expecting anything in terms of nodes, detonator, reactor, any of the legacy contracts, any of the NFTs. Nothing will be implemented in terms of being able to exit those positions until we are recovered peg. So that kind of gives you a timeline, but I promise you that we're looking into all of this. And if for whatever reason we can implement it before that, and it doesn't impact the protocol share of everybody else very heavily, then we would definitely bump that up. But for right now, again, peg is the number one focus at the moment. And really, again, it's also about development. We want to be able to do things that drive value into Fusion itself, and encourage people, to put in fresh capital or buy EMP or buy cash out batteries. Those sort of things in terms of development are have the most effect in the shortest amount of time. Allowing people to migrate from legacy contracts, although it's a priority for us, it's not necessarily the number one priority. So, and that's just to have the health of the protocol succeed. And we've said it many times. I mean, we're never going to make we're never going to make a decision that will impact the health of the overall protocol just to accommodate legacy contracts. So again, LA, I don't know if you want to expand on that, but
I was just gonna say that now that AJ's kind of given you guys a more thorough expectation on that, just know that when we do have updated information, we'll definitely slot that into a whole section of the AMA, and it's not necessarily something that we'll have updates on every AMA or even maybe every week until we get closer to recovering peg. So I just wanted to kind of be transparent with that so that we don't end up having different people ask us to answer that every week moving forwards.
yep, agreed, 100%. And, again, nodes are a bit of an outlier just because it's actual EMP. the initial raise of nodes was, in the vein of the treasury supporting that, and so that's why I think nodes is a bit of a different animal. But just remember, in terms of the other legacy contracts, it was always billed to the community as a game. Obviously we want to take care of people where we can, but frankly speaking, nothing is owed to anybody in those sort of contracts. I mean, we're a development team that doesn't screw people, and so that's why we're working through everything we can to allow people to, either make that work without hurting the overall protocol, or implementing the things that we talked about, the V3 migrations, the ability to cash out directly into Fusion to make those contracts more attractive again. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with a development issue. It has everything to do with people, maybe not wanting to use those contracts anymore. And honestly, and we've said it many times, there could be a very strong argument for people that are utilizing those contracts, especially with the V3 changes and the migration, that you could actually get more sacrifice points doing it that way. And again, there is no right or wrong answer. As a development team, we put code out on the internet, and it's up to the community to interact with it or not. But we'll do everything in our power again to make people as whole as we can, but still not jeopardizing the overall protocol. So again, I think we've beat a dead horse with that. But LA, do you want to anything else before we move on? Yeah.
For sure. We'll update you guys when we have more information. And in the meantime, we're developing some really bullish things that are geared towards building a ton of value in Fusion, helping to recover the ecosystem, and create even more sustainability within Fusion.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I don't want to sound, negative at all because I want to end on what matters right now is peg. And, that alone will help detonator nodes, all of the legacy contracts recover because, when we recover peg, not only is that rewarding you a substantial amount of dollar value more than what it is right now, but that is the catalyst to, Fusion functioning at its highest level. Again, we've said it many times, the flywheel effect. As a community, whether you're in detonator, reactor, nodes, obviously if you have no additional capital, it is what it is. But as a community, we have got to focus on, buying EMP and sacrificing it because, that is why when it's inevitable that we get to peg. And again, it's based on the math. The math is unfuddable, again, to use our favorite line now. But so, anybody that's concerned about nodes or detonator or reactor or any legacy contracts, just take a step back, understand that we are going to be working on that. But as a community right now, the number one priority is peg recovery. So, all right, awesome. All right, right? You ready to move
Love
on,
it.
Ellie? Or go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to Honor versus Madness. So we've been putting in a ton of effort behind the scenes on this as well. Again, I don't think people understand how busy LA and I actually are. There's not a day go by that we are not, putting in a full-time hour load, if not more, on working with all of our projects. So Honor versus Madness has been taking a lot more of our time right now because we are moving full steam ahead with both the game development and preparing for the token launch. So remember, Honor vs. Madness will have a token launch. So we're working on the rollout plan for that now. Obviously, if you're part of the EMP ecosystem, especially our VIPs, we'll do our best to get you, the opportunity first. However, overall, it will be a staged rollout plan, and no matter how hard we try, there will not be room for everybody. So if you don't get in early, just remember that you can always buy on the market when it launches. And historically speaking, again, we went through a lot of really bullish stats today. I mean, I think the
I was thinking I might actually like share a couple of them with
yeah, no
them.
doubt, this is perfect segue. So yeah, do you have it pulled up, LA? I don't know, or if you remember
Yeah,
some off the top of your head, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, no, I have them. So we're preparing some information for our launches, and we we were prepping some info on some of the most comparable game launches that have been out over the last few years. And we prepped five, well, five different projects, but four of them involve crypto. One of them is a non-crypto game. But out of the five projects, their token launches have the price appreciation is insane. So Axie Infinity saw 164,000% price appreciation at all-time highs, and that was 1 year post-launch. Gods Unchained saw a 3,567% price appreciation at all-time highs. That was 1 month after launch. Illuvium saw 3,723% price appreciation at all-time highs. That was 7 months after launch. And Star Atlas saw a 730% price appreciation at all-time highs, which was 7 months after launch. It's just insane.
Amazing. Yeah, no doubt, LA. That is so bullish. Again, other than, a layer one or layer two, I think that gaming, again, has some of the most incredible price appreciation. And obviously, we're just giving you a perspective. We think that we can absolutely compete with that, but not financial advice. But those kind of stats are really bullish for what is coming. And, again, all of us being an EMP and Infusion, we get accused of being serial launchers, and it's not a matter of, always giving somebody another opportunity. But this is within our own ecosystem, and for everybody in Fusion, it's going to bring, 10% of all the revenue, gross revenue that game generates will be put back into Fusion as a yield. So it really matters that all of you do get excited about the game. Obviously, there will be opportunity for early investment. Whether we're able to fill that all, I'm sure the appetite will be much more than what we have. But even if you're buying on launch, remember that it is directly benefiting EMP Fusion as well. And this is something. Again, we'll get into this in a little bit, but this is not our first rodeo either. And being able to launch a new token is something that we really haven't done in our ecosystem. Obviously we had Spark, but Spark was a reward token and, was released for providing liquidity. This token will be a maximum supply, hard capped off the bat, and something that we really have never had the opportunity to launch before. Knowing everything that we know now, I mean, I could not be more bullish on the actual launch. So, and again, we're still a bit away from that. Never ever liquidate your own holdings. We say that all the time. You know, it makes absolutely no sense to kill the golden goose or cut down your money tree here in our own ecosystems. But rather than speculating on the next meme token or trying to get into the next ROI DApp, save some dry powder to get into tokens that are part of our own ecosystem. And again, come along with the trust and security and experience that we have in launching it. So, yeah, again, the token is a great opportunity. Whether or not you want to play the game or not, we still have some really exciting surprises that will add value into all of that. And again, we'll build the hype for the pre-sale and then the public sale. So if you, yeah,
I
go ahead,
also
Ellie.
I also just wanted to add that, as powerful as our launches are, and you've seen that nobody launches things like we do, um, the Honor versus Madness launch is going to be taken to a whole new level that you've never seen before, because not only will we have all of our usual tricks up our sleeve, if you want to word it that way, with, you know, our whole AMA trains and all of our things that we usually do. But on top of that, we're going to have the opportunity to work with an entire marketing firm that is going to help take everything that we do to entirely new heights and levels, and do things for us that we couldn't do ourselves. And so we are going to be able to accomplish a lot more. We're going to be able to reach a lot more people. And it's particularly important for this because it is meant to reach both a crypto and non-crypto audience. And so we're going to be able to cross a lot of different audiences and different types of people to bring them in to be interested in this. So it's going to be a really exciting time to expand our community.
Totally. Again, I could not agree more, LA. And again, I dropped a little alpha earlier, but LA is even expanding on that. I mean, we have definitely utilized some of the connections we made at Consensus. Again, shout out to LA. You know, she never stops. So even though, you know, Consensus was also meant to get some emperors together and have some fun, it was also a networking opportunity. And that's why these crypto conferences are so powerful. And yeah, I mean, this particular marketing agency that we're in talks with right now, you know, the amount of doors that they would potentially be able to open is unheard of. And you know, once we have a contract, hopefully we can, you know, disclose who it is. But they are by far one of the most powerful marketing agencies in all of crypto. Not only for crypto specific, you know, protocols, but also GameFi in specifics as well, and you know overall social media marketing. So to LA's point, and that's why one of the reasons, again, just to go down the rabbit hole a little bit more, one of the reasons personally why I am even more jacked up and bullish on this particular token launch is that knowing what I know and that we are going to be targeting actual gamers, not necessarily, you know, this play to earn uh, system that is amazing in the beginning, but over time, it only extracts value from the ecosystem. You know, having a new approach where we want to build just a badass, amazing game first that people want to play and don't mind spending money to play, that is an absolute game changer. And in terms of profitability, it is way more profitable to be able to have a game like that than a game where you're always having this, you know, uh, looming debt over your head because you have to continue to pay rewards for the play to earn ecosystem. And if nobody is earning, then they don't want to play anymore. And so that is a real big problem that we are solving, you know, with Honor Madness. So, and again, you know, we also have the transparency and track record to back it up. So we'll talk about this at the end, but you know, we're actually building the game. So that's another thing. I mean, some of these protocols or GameFi projects that launch, they have a fancy trailer and that's it. And so you're building this whole ecosystem, some of which are billions of dollars in market cap, on a hope that something happens. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen, and everybody gets screwed. Well, in our situation, you know that when we say we're going to build a game, we're actually going to build a game. And so that is really powerful as well, in terms of, you know, confidence in the protocol. So, all right. What else, LA? You know, we've just been building out the rollout plan. You know, like LA said, we did some incredibly bullish research on other protocols that have done multiple X's. And you know, we bring a lot to the table. Like, it's crazy to think. And you know, with my experience with Splinterlands, you know, Julius is the art director, the same one that did all the animations on our original EMP site. Um, You can go see those even today, or the original detonator video. Julius was the one that put all of that together. So he has an amazing track record of his own on design, and this is a game he's been working on for a long time. But me alone, I have almost a decade of experience in the gaming industry. Again, I was one of the first participants in Splinterlands, and even the guy that got me into Splinterlands, where I bought my first Alpha Gold Foil pack from, his name is Crypto Eater. He is now part of our team. So that is really amazing in terms of what we know, what the pitfalls that we've seen elsewhere, and what things work, what things don't work, and we use that playbook to be even better. So,
And
Ellie,
he
you want to add to
is
that? Yeah.
such a BBMF, if you know what that means.
What was that? What was that?
And he is such a BBMF, if you know what that means.
Yes, he does a BBMF. Yeah, totally. So Ellie's been on all the calls. Maybe give everybody a little insight on him. I mean, we'll be having him on at a later date, but yeah, for sure.
He is one of the most, he is one of the smartest and also most patient people that I have come across in a long time. When we got off the first call with him, I messaged AJ right away and I said to him, great call bringing him on the team. Like, he is so knowledgeable, so gosh darn smart, especially when it comes to like math and tokenomics and figuring stuff out with all of that side of things. He he's just such a team player. Like, he's willing to talk out different ideas and go back and forth and hear everyone out, and then crunch the numbers and then go back and forth and figure out what makes the most sense, both mathematically and from a human perspective, and how the community is going to think and feel about things, and kind of weave those two together to figure out what makes the most sense. He's a great addition to the team. He's very, very smart, and you can tell he has a plethora of experience, so that's very important as well.
I love it, absolutely. And again, we'll introduce him as we get going here. He also has another project of his own that he's trying to roll out that we may have some opportunities with towards the end of the year. But that being said, he's one of the most intelligent numbers guys I've ever met. And we've been friends now for, again, going on a decade, which is just insane to think about. And again, knowing what we know from Splinterlands specifically, and that's not to say that we're funding Splinterlands. Obviously, both of us still have literally over $1 million each. Crypto Eater probably has even more than that, maybe going on 2 million of assets in the game. So obviously, we want Splinterlands to succeed. There's room for everybody. We love that community. We're getting even more involved in that community. But the idea is that this is yet another option with all the same uh, wants and needs that that community has, bridging over to ours. So it's really symbiotic. And again, I'm so bullish. I can tell you, and LA talked about it a little bit here, but we have never gone over the economics of a game token more so than what we have with this project. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because before we even launch, the actual economics and in-game and out-of-game economy, all the way down to the amount of liquidity that we're going to provide, has been brainstormed and worked on and evaluated uh, thoroughly over the last few weeks, even going on a month now. So that to me again is super bullish, considering most game projects just wing it. So we're
Yeah,
bringing, yeah,
that was
right,
one
Ellie?
thing he actually said on one of our calls. He said, when it's time to just make those types of decisions, a lot of teams just randomly do it. They just randomly pick a number and say, "Oh, that sounds good." And they just in the moment make a decision and just go with it. And he was super impressed with the fact that we wanted to go back and forth so much about it way before the launch and be so detailed and planned ahead of time to make everything so purposeful and intentional. He'd never seen that before.
Yeah, 100%. So, the puzzle pieces, like we like to say, are falling into place with this as well. And last but not least, again, not to, get too much into the weeds, but we're going to be actually being, and this is so bullish too, no other gaming project I know of has done this, but Julius is actually based in the same town that the gaming studio is. So, this is a AAA gaming studio. We're in the final process of solidifying the contract. They're already in a pre-development stage that we have contracted them for, but until we have the final contract for the game build out itself, we haven't disclosed who it is, but we will as soon as we have that. Hopefully by the end of the week, actually. We'll have all that finalized. Both of our lawyers have been going over it, but they're incredible. I mean, this is a AAA game studio uh, out of Thailand, and they are unbelievable. I mean, they've worked with Netflix, they've worked with uh, Mitsubishi, Pepsi, you name it, and they've also launched their own, indie titles on Steam, all the big platforms of their own. So we love them. We looked at about 6 or 7 different gaming studios, and these guys were above and beyond everybody else. So and then in terms of the crypto integration and token launch and all of that, obviously it's the same development team with DexFi. So all of this is still under the Dex Finance and EMP franchise and umbrella. You can trust that all the devs, both on the gaming side and the crypto side, are making it happen and doing it safely. And so again, I mean, when we say we built a dream team, I really do feel that way. And the narrative going into the real bull run with a GameFi project with a trusted team and an amazing game that is very different than what is out there on the market right now. I mean, I don't know how much more we can roll into the pitch, LA, but I think it's pretty damn powerful for sure.
Yeah, the only other thing I would say is that I don't know if you're okay with me sharing this, but Julius actually had a studio tour this week.
Yes, I love it.
So
Yeah.
that was really bullish, and I believe he was going back there again at some point this week. So it's really cool that he actually gets to go and be there and be a part of the process at some points during the journey. So that in itself, I don't think is something that everyone would have the opportunity to do if they're not located so close to the actual gaming studio they're working with.
I love it, Ella. Yeah, and that's the bullish exclamation point on this discussion. Yeah, the fact that Julius is there, and a team member with boots on the ground, he can be in the development meetings, he can be the art director in real time. Again, we're not just sending funds to a random game studio and hoping that they deliver. They have an actual studio, they have shareholders. It's a legitimate company. I mean, all of that is again just so powerful and nothing we've seen from other gaming projects. I mean, even the established ones, to my knowledge, they're not giving studio tours and showing you the development process in real time, and that is all part of our plan. Again, after the token launches, there will be ongoing coverage of what we're developing. Obviously, games take a long time, so once the token launches, we're still probably at least 8 or 9 months away from having a playable title. But again, that's exciting for everybody else because you can be with us along the journey of this creation. And again, I mean, there could be other earning opportunities within the token, even though we don't have a game finished. I mean, there could easily be some staking options that we implement. Obviously, it helps Fusion even before revenue is being generated to get more people excited about our whole ecosystem. And utilizing our DeFi knowledge, we'll also be able to manage the treasury extremely well for the gaming project as well. So things are just really exciting, and again, I can't wait to share. So, LA, I know we're not big on timelines, but what can we give them to leave off here in terms of getting ready and being prepared?
We're working on getting the pre-sale ready for the token sale within the next few weeks.
Perfect. All right. Well, there you go. So again, we'll definitely give everybody a heads up as it gets closer, but we're full speed ahead for sure. Cool. All right. Awesome. That is all the major bullet points today. Again, I know we said we were gonna have a quick one, but it still ended up being about an hour. Do you have any questions or anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Let's see. I didn't see any on the Discord earlier today. Let me check again. Oh, it looks like there is one there now. Okay. Um, oh, it's about cultivator, and you already answered that.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I know. Again, we had said last week it was about 24 hours away. When we went to build the migration and get everything together, we noticed some discrepancies. So again, just you know us. We are always, what is it? Measure 100 times and cut once. That is what we do. So we went back through. Everything looks really good now. Like I said, I just got an update literally, 5 minutes before the call, so it should be ready by tomorrow, and then the migration can be, sometime over the weekend. So as soon as that does happen, we will give an update in all of our socials, for sure.
Yeah, there's a number of people, especially with cultivator, who deposited long after the snapshot was taken, even though we told everyone not to. Um, and obviously, we wanted to make sure that only the people that qualified for that compensation were the ones who got it, because we wanted to make sure that those people received those rewards, and it wasn't divided between people that didn't truly qualify for it. So that is why it's taken a little bit longer.
Perfect. Yep. And again, yeah, sometimes we're almost too transparent just because then it leads to frustrations when timelines are pushed a little bit. But number one priority, again, above all else, is safety. And again, we're never gonna just do something because we said we would without double checking and triple checking everything.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll always try to be as open with you guys as possible. So yeah. But that was the only question. If you guys have anything else on YouTube, now is your opportunity to put it in there before we wrap up here.
Yeah, no doubt. So everything else is looking really good. Again, the whole ecosystem is just, moving along. Shout out to again Dex Finance, everything with them. We did a great fireside chat a few weeks ago. They announced too that they have completely paid off all their original debt from the Tomb Fort
Yes.
days. So shout out to them, right, LA? That was a huge
hmm
milestone.
Such a
Yeah.
huge milestone. Yeah, that's really impressive. And so much more positive things ahead. So,
Yep, totally. So again, even though, Fusion and GDEX are the flagship protocols for each, they operate a little bit separately. We still have major exposure to each other's tokens and, everything that we build together moving forward, including the game. I mean, again, it's all part of the franchise. So moving forward, again, it's only going to get better and drive revenue back to Fusion and to GDEX. So, and again, if you only knew half of what we're building out in the DexFi ecosystem, the vaults, the V3, liquidity, ALM, automated liquidity manager, I mean, that alone could be a game changer by itself. So, I know we keep saying it, LA, but I could not be more bullish on what the future holds.
oh my God, me too. So bullish. And every time we have one of these meetings, it just amplifies.
Yeah, totally. So, All right, then we'll wrap it up. I don't see any other questions, uh, other than Vino making an appearance as he always does.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vino. So yeah, but all right, so I think we're good. So yeah, we again we'll put out some updates about Cultivator and any other news over the weekend. As always, we have our AMAs every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. So Monday will be the next one. We'll hopefully have even more to talk about then. And yeah, we're just plugging right along. Again, just to recap a little bit as well. Uh, right now, the main focus is peg recovery, and with the markets looking a little bit healthier, Ethereum looking good around the 3,000 mark. Now is the opportunity to load up potentially one last time before we get into the real bull run, and you know, the numbers again are just so powerful because there will not be a lot more EMP left. And don't be the person where we said we told you so. I mean, LA, I know you're working on the cake. The I told you so cake, but I don't know. Yeah, but yeah. If you want to end with anything, you're so good at positive mindset as we wrap it up. So
Oh, well, here's something. And I even have to remind myself of this on down days. But your mind actually doesn't know the difference between physically doing something and visualizing that you're doing it. And so, even on the down days, try your best to like cheer yourself up by closing your eyes and thinking about yourself in a better position, because your mind literally doesn't know the difference. And they've done this in scientific studies, even at like really, really great schools. I won't quote which schools right now because I don't remember where the study was taken, but they've done it with numerous sports, and people have improved their skills just by sitting around for a month visualizing themselves shooting basketballs and all kinds of things that they've studied and proven. So, um, yeah. So when you are, whether you're down and you're trying to cheer yourself up, or whether you're already up and you're just trying to manifest fantastic things into your life, um, you can do so by just having a positive mind and just thinking about it and visualizing it over and over again.
I love it. 100% LA. Well, I think we're well prepared for the future. We say it a lot too that those that get it, and those that don't, unfortunately, they may not have the same opportunity that the rest of us have. But that doesn't mean that Fusion will not be an absolute powerhouse moving into the future. And yeah, I mean, again, not financial advice, but I don't know of any other opportunity like the one we have in front of us. No other protocol is offering, multi-chain, interoperable dexes that actually reward revenue to holders. Gaming projects that can be literally $1 billion market cap. I mean, I don't know where else you're gonna find this kind of stuff. So, I know I'm buying EMP every day, from my own personal bags, because again, it
What's
all
so,
funnels back home, right, LA? Yeah,
what's so insane is like, okay, and excuse my ignorance because like I'm not a gamer, right? So, but like when I think of games and stuff that like are super like stand out in my mind, I think of like The Sims or something, which like it has nothing to do with the game we're launching, like not even close. But like in my head, I think of like, oh, what's a huge game that I remember? Oh, The Sims or something. But like I think about like, oh, like we could all be part owners in The Sims. Holy crap, that's huge.
totally.
like um yeah, Vino says Halo 3. Yeah, like whatever the game is for you that stands out for you. Like I said, I've never been a gamer. I used to watch my brother play Zelda. I don't know. But but like imagine being a part owner in like a game of that caliber, like of whatever caliber is of the one you're imagining in your mind right now.
For sure.
Super Mario Brothers. No, I'm just kidding, but um Yeah, those are the only games I know, so I apologize for the examples in particular. But
Yes, LA is showing her gaming repertoire here. So yeah, but no, I mean it's 100% true, LA. The point you're making, I mean that is what we're striving for. So and having it be a mainstream game with the development team and the marketing behind it. I mean, I don't see there's nothing in our vision that will hinder us accomplishing that for sure. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
exciting, 100%. And we have some metrics too. Again, we won't give all the alpha, but we have some incredible metrics on games that are not crypto related, but within the same, genre of what we're building that again are just so bullish in terms of revenue and what could come back home to EMP. So
Yeah. So there's a couple questions in the chats, and we need to uh, answer it in the best possible way. And then I thought of one more thing that I wanted to say, which was super bullish. So, are the farms on EMP.Money dead forever? Dead is the wrong word. Discontinued, yes. Dead, I don't know why everyone always uses this word. I loathe it. Um, Discontinued, yes. So, what I would love to invite you to do is visit the EMP educational playlist after this AMA. You can find it right on this channel. And that will explain to you the mechanics of how Fusion actually works and why the farms were eliminated. But in a nutshell, right now, there's a set amount of e-share emissions that used to go out to the farms every single day. And we've taken those e-share emissions that went out to the two farms, we've discontinued those farms, and now those e-share emissions are going towards Fusion. Fusion is a single staking EMP pool. So if you want to think of it as a farm, you could think of your position in Fusion as a farm position. It's really not that different, although there are some very, very bullish things that make it way better than a farm. Um, but no, we're not going to be adding any farms, and no, those farms are never going to be active again, to answer your question in a nutshell. But I think if you watch all the videos on that playlist, you're going to understand how Fusion works mechanically a lot better, and why those farms no longer exist.
I love it. Great explanation. And yeah, just to add to that, if you are still in the farm, wanting to earn, it's super simple. You just remove your LP and sacrifice that into Fusion, and you're essentially earning the bare minimum of what you earned in the farm, plus 8 or 9, well, 7 other revenue streams on top of it. So yeah.
Yes. Okay, so here's what I want to leave everyone off with, which I thought of earlier, but then I forgot to bring it up. So at the beginning of this stream, you were talking about how, this may be the last time we get our hands on $3,000 ETH, and how we may, especially in September, October, see things start moving up and not come back down to these levels potentially. And I thought to myself, wow, obviously a lot of us right now are BBEing because there's not that much EMP left on the market. We want to build our ownership as big as possible while we still can. And obviously it's increasing our daily earnings as much as possible. But that being said, when we are ready to collect in batteries, the batteries are a daily DCA all the way up as the prices increase all the way up in the bull cycle. Isn't that a cool way to think of it?
Yeah, no doubt. I love it, LA. Well, and to piggyback on that, I mean, again, we have designed Fusion to literally solve and be a vehicle to proper portfolio management for every single person in crypto. So I'll take it a step further from what LA said. You will DCA into ETH through the ETH batteries as we are going up. And then once we get into the bull run, and things are topping out, and Elon Musk is on Saturday Night Live talking about Doge. Your grandma calls you about, getting into Bitcoin. Those are usually the top signals. Then you can switch your battery to USDT or any
Mm-hmm.
other stable token that we have at that point. And now you're also protecting yourself, cashing out at the top of the bull run and getting ready for the next cycle. So again, like all the tools are in place to absolutely kill it. And Fusion is the home base for sure.
Yeah, it's so cool. You don't have to do any of it manually yourself outside of Fusion. You literally can DCA yourself, whether you're doing it daily, weekly, every few days, once a month, whatever, you like or whatever your rewards allow you to do. But it is an opportunity for the next year or 2 years, however long the bull cycle is, till we get to that peak, to DCA all the way up gradually and steadily. It's amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and Grover just had an awesome tagline I think we need to incorporate. So he said, Fusion is a farm where the emissions increase over time. So, yeah, imagine a farm that is only going to earn you more and more over time without any inflation because the emissions are real yield. I mean,
Mhm.
again, that is just so powerful.
Love it. Yes, some good nuggets in this AMA.
Yeah, totally. So, all right, awesome. Well, I think we'll try to wrap it up yet again. I think that was really good though. The last few minutes of that AMA were awesome. And again, please, everybody listening, not only do we really appreciate you taking the time to listen live or to the recording, but please do your best in sharing this information. Again, we don't want you to be shilling in groups and getting banned, but I think, pointing people to these AMAs is very, very powerful. And that is why we do these AMAs. Again, LA and I don't think the overall community doesn't understand how busy we actually are. And these AMAs are the reason that we can connect with all of you and don't have to stay in chat answering the same question 500 times. So
Mhm.
the LA or the AMAs are gold for sure, right, LA?
Yeah, for sure. As much as we would love to answer questions individually to each one of you in DMs, that would just not allow us to do everything we need to do to grow this protocol the way that we know all of you want us to in order for us all to win the way we know we can. And so these AMAs are an amazing opportunity for us to be with all of you, spend time together, answer all your questions, get you all the important information. And so we appreciate all of you being here and sharing this information in any way that you can.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Again, just to wrap up one more time, this is the live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll have some updates over the weekend, so make sure you're following all of our socials. We're most active on Telegram and Discord, so please make sure you're following us there. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And yeah, I hope all of you have an amazing weekend. We'll be continually building and grinding behind the scenes and have another major update on Monday. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you all on Monday. Cheers, everybody.